introduction which I found on internet. I want to say something from my own experience. So, Jayadev Maharaj, His Holiness Jayadev Maharaj, he was staying with us. I think couple of years. Nice explanation that person was giving. And then when Maharaj was done with the puja, I asked Maharaj, if you don't mind, can I ask you to whom you were listening? And I was really shaking at that time what Maharaj's answer will be. Of Shastras. And not only that, he knows how to present Shastras in front of everybody. Anybody coming from any walk of life can understand what Prabhuji is saying. At least that's my experience. It's like that Prabhuji is making a porridge and feeding to small child, and it's easily digestible to our tummies. So Prabhuji not only have Vedic knowledge, but also as a devotee, his humble attitude just touch the heart of each and every person whom he comes in contact with. So you can tell me that we all will be on the same page after the presentation of His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu today, and I will ask you all. Okay? So let me give you the introduction which I found on internet. It's very impressive. His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu is a disciple of Radha Govinda Das Goswami and joined ISKCON in the year 2002. He was born in a Gaudiya Sharvastra Brahmana family in Mumbai. His father and grandfather are both devotees of Sri Sri Rukmani Vittala of Pandharpur. Hari Parshad Prabhu learned Sanskrit in the traditional way in his childhood and was taught the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi of Pandita Varadaraj. Between 2002 to 2007, he served as a book distributor and organized programs and seminars for ISKCON youth in June. He has also written Sanskrit verses in the Chitra Kavya style. In 2007, Hari Parshad Prabhu was appointed assistant editor of Gopal Geo Publications. Hari Parshad Prabhu is an accomplished Sanskrit scholar, which we don't have any doubt of, having studied the Ashtadhyayi, the complete 4,000 sutras by Panini, and completing a translation with commentary of Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Manasiksha in 2015. He currently compiles a fortnightly e-magazine called Sri Krishna Katha Amrita Bindu, where he regularly contributes fresh translations and articles. He holds a master degree in information technology, graduating with distinction from Manipal University in the year 2012. He is married and has a son. Hari Parshad Prabhu has been a member of Shastric Advisory Council since 2016. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Please accept our warm welcome for accepting our invitation and kindly coming here. Congregation of ISKCON Philadelphia is very grateful, and on behalf of everybody, we welcome you. And please chant loudly, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One last request, please move forward because we want more devotees to come and sit down comfortably to hear the lecture. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There is a play area for the kids.
Yes, upstairs.
Yeah.
If kids outside, yeah, if they want.
If there are any kids who might feel restless, there is a play area outside.
Also, there's a TV in the family room, so this class will broadcast there too. If you don't like that, might just need some place to run around, not go outside.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji, for kindly introducing me, and thank you Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu for kindly organizing the program, inviting myself as well as the devotees who come with me here today. I'm really grateful, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, for kindly opening the doors of your home. Mataji, thank you for kindly opening the doors of your home. Na griham grihamityahur grihini griham uchyate. It is said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamritam that merely four walls are not a home. It is the lady of the home who makes the home beautiful. So the devotees in this home, Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji is present as Grihini, the Vaishnavi who is decorated the home, and the home is considered to be beautiful because there is the presence of the homemaker in the home. So I'd like to thank Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, dear devotees. Let's give them a round of applause. Also, I met Kevalya Prabhu in Sadhusanga and I'm very happy. Thank you so much, Kevalya Prabhu, for kindly being present here. And all of you, thank you, dear devotees, for being present here today. I hope you can hear me in the back. Yes? Alright. So, today, the topic that I'll be speaking upon is transcending transactional dharma. It's a very interesting topic, but before I speak upon it, I'd like to offer Mangalacharan auspicious invocations, because all the previous authorities, before they began any event, they would ensure auspiciousness by chanting Mangalacharan. So I'll do that I'll follow in their footsteps, I'll chant Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om
Live is going in short otherwise it won't come.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishna Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Gaur Premanande. Welcome dear devotees. I am so happy to be here amongst all of you. Once again I'd like to thank Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, Madhavi Gaurangi Mataji. Thank you so much for kindly organizing this wonderful program. Two wonderful kids, Madhav and Keshav. They're also part of the family. So I'm very happy to be here in the presence of all of you. Thank you for kindly being present here. Dear devotees, whenever there are events like these organized, it reminds me of my childhood. And in my childhood, I used to go and attend many Indian weddings. How many of you have attended Indian weddings in your childhood? Oh, wonderful dear devotees. When we attend Indian weddings, different people come for different motivations in an Indian wedding. And there's a very nice Sanskrit verse which describes the different motivations that people attend Indian weddings for. The different motivations that people attend Indian weddings for. Here is the verse. Please repeat after me. Kanya varayate rupam. Mata vittam pita shrutam. Bandhavaha kulam icchanti. Mishtanam jana. Devotees, in a traditional Indian wedding, different people come with different motivations. Here carefully, dear devotees. Kanya varayate rupam. In a traditional Indian wedding, Kanya is the bride. Varayate rupam. The girl, varayate rupam. She has a different desire altogether. She wants that the boy that I am getting married to should be very good looking. Devotees. This is her desire. Kanya varayate rupam. Her desire is that the boy that I get married to should be very good looking. But her mother's desire is not like that. Mata vittam. The mother of the girl is more mature, more intelligent. She knows what will you do with beauty. Devotees, in order to run a marriage, you need something. What do you need, dear devotees?
Money.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, you're correct. You need money, dear devotees. So, Mata Vittam, the mother of the girl expects that my son-in-law should be very well earning. Pita Shrutam. The father of the girl expects Shrutam. Shrutam is the father of the girl expects that my son-in-law should be well educated, so that if he ever falls into any difficulty in life, then he should be able to make another career of his own. Bandhavaha kulam icchanti. The remaining relatives, they expect that the family in which the girl is getting married should be a good family, so that we can boast in front of others, This girl, she is related to us, which family she is getting married into. So kulam icchanti, the other relatives, they desire that the girl should get married in a good family. And itare jana, rest of the people come only for mishtanam, dear devotees. They come only for the sweets, dear devotees. So in this way, different people come to an Indian wedding for different purposes. Similarly, dear devotees, all of us have gathered here today for different purposes. Some of you heard that there was a program going to happen. So all of you came for the highest purpose, dear devotees, that there was some program, event going to happen. So all of you gathered here. Some of you gathered also for the kirtan. And people like myself, I heard there was a nice feast being cooked. So I came, dear devotees. So all I have to do is I have to give a talk and I'll get good prasadam. So my motivation here is the final one here. You can see I'm at the bottom right corner, dear devotees. But I'm very happy to be here. This is the translation of the verse. And somebody who has a loud enough voice can read the translation of the verse. Prabhu, can you kindly read the translation of the verse so that everyone can hear?
Yeah. The bride desires a handsome man. Her mother desires a financially stable man. Her father desires a highly educated man. The immediate relatives desire a man belonging to a good family, whereas all others, they simply desire to have good sweets in the wedding feast.
So that's my motivation, dear devotees. Yeah, I have come here because I heard there were good sweets. And boy, oh boy, the sweets were very nice today, dear devotees. Right? So, but I'm very happy to be here, dear devotees. Today is a very important topic. And I'll begin with a quote by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the book Teachings of Lord Kapila, 16th chapter, Srila Prabhupada says something about the 4 goals of human life. Dear devotees, according to Shastra, according to scriptures, there are 4 goals of human life. I will name these 4 goals of life. Many of us might have heard about them. Please repeat after me. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Srila Prabhupada speaks about these 4 goals. Here is what Srila Prabhupada says. Prabhu, your voice is very nice. Prabhu, kindly read what Srila Prabhupada says.
Srila Prabhupada Uvacha, Generally, people want Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha in that order. First of all, people want to become religious, Dharma, in order to attain material opulence, Artha. People want material opulence in order to gratify their senses, Kama. And when they are frustrated in their attempt to gratify their senses, they want liberation, Moksha. In this way, Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha are going on.
Wonderful. So, Srila Prabhupada specifies the cycle of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Devotees, in general, a pious person desires some Dharma, but then after performing Dharma, they also have some material desires, and material desires come out in the form of Artha and Kama. How is Artha translated? Can anybody tell me what is Artha, dear devotees? Material opulence. So often Artha is translated simply as money, but Artha has much more deeper meaning than simple money. Because there are many people who have money in their banks, but we cannot call them truly opulent. Artha is overall prosperity. Artha is to have sufficient food to eat along with all the relatives in the family together. Dear devotees, overall prosperity is known as Artha. I remember in my childhood, I used to visit my village in the summer vacations, and all my cousins used to come together. In total, there would be around 40 to 50 people in the home, in the village home, big village home, dear devotees. And summer season was mango season. And on the upper floor of the home, there would be crates of mangoes. So many crates of mangoes, dear devotees. Today, in order to even purchase one crate of mango, it is so expensive, I have to think twice. In those days, dear devotees, I had seen prosperity, real Artha. Today we may have money in our bank account, but is it really Artha if we do not have relatives to enjoy it with? The devotees, so it is very important. Artha refers to overall prosperity in the association of near and dear ones. One of the complaints of Arjuna in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita is that if we slaughter all these relatives, then with whom will we enjoy? This is one of the arguments that Arjuna gave in the first chapter of the Gita in order to avoid fighting the war. Because Arjuna also knows Artha means there should be prosperity in the association of the entire family. That is Artha. And then when you have Artha, then you can also have Kama. How is Kama generally translated as, dear devotees? Lust. Wonderful. Dear devotees, somebody said lust. So Kama is often translated as lust, but Kama originally also means any creative desire is called Kama. Any desire to create something new, any desire to enjoy is called Kama. The original Kama was present in the universe, in the heart of Bhagavan. In the Shastra it is said, Saha akamayat ekoham bahusyam prajayayati. Bhagavan desired, alone I am, let me become many. And then he created the entire universe. Dear devotees, so Saha akamayat. So the first Kama was in the heart of Bhagavan, the first desire was in the heart of Bhagavan. And because he has desires, therefore all of us also have desires. Fulfillment of these desires is known as Kama. And when Kama is frustrated, because the material world is not a place where all desires can be satisfied. Young people are very excited and they think we'll conquer the world. And you look at the old people and you will understand that the world cannot be conquered. Dear devotees, when finally desires are frustrated, people wish to achieve moksha. That is, they wish to get rid of the entire material entanglement. This is the cycle of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Dear devotees, amongst these four, the first three are most prominent in most humans' lives. They are most relevant to the lives of maximum human beings. What are the first three, dear devotees? What is the first one? Dharma, Artha, Kama. These three are most important. In regards to these three, the learned Chanakya Pandit says something. I will speak what he says in his Niti Sutra. Please repeat after me. Sukhasya Moolam Dharmaha Sukhasya Moolam Dharmaha. So that I'm explaining. Sukhasya Moolam Dharmaha. Sri Chanakya Pandit says, Moolam, the root of Sukha, the root of all happiness, dear devotees, is one, and that is Dharma. Today, if we are having any happiness in our lives, it is due to some pious activity committed in previous lives, knowingly or unknowingly. In previous human lives, we have taken care of children. In previous human lives, we have rendered service to the society. In previous human lives, we have done so much for others, and thus we have earned some dharma. And as a result of that, today we are having sukha, we are having happiness. So if we at all we are having any happiness today, it is because of one principle executed in previous lives. And what is that principle, dear devotees? Dharma. What is dharma defined as, dear devotees? Can anybody tell me what is dharma?
Acting as per the Shastras.
Acting as per the Shastras, okay. Any other definition? Occupational duties, wonderful. So dear devotees, often dharma is translated as occupational duties or your prescribed duties. We will see the definition of dharma. In general, dharma means religiosity. Alright? So religiosity leads to happiness in this life or the next life. Then after dharma come the remaining two. What are the remaining two, dear devotees? Artha and Kama. And Sri Chanakya Pandit says, please repeat after me. Arthamula Viti Dharma Kama Viti. So he says, Arthamula Hi Dharma Kama Viti. If you want to execute dharma, if you want to execute religious activities, you will need artha. What is the meaning of artha, dear devotees? You will need prosperity. Otherwise, you will be able to execute dharma on a very limited scale. If you want to execute large quantities of dharma, you will need something. What do you need, dear devotees? Artha. And this artha will help you execute dharma very well. And also kama. If you want kama, satisfaction of your desires, even for kama, proper satisfaction of your desires, you need artha. So artha mulav hi dharma kama iti. Dharma and kama are properly executed when you have something done properly. What is that, dear devotees? Artha. So this is the translation. The root of all dharma and kama is artha. If you have good financial prosperity, then you will be able to execute dharma very well. And at the same time, you will have fulfillment of all your desires. Therefore, Sri Chanakya Pandit recommends that we should not disturb these three goals of life. And he says, please repeat after me. Parasparasya Anupaghatakam. Parasparasya Anupaghatakam. These goals of life should not cause harm to each other. Sometimes we use dharma to harm artha or kama. Some people are so religious that they forget to have any financial prosperity. They even neglect their material enjoyment in life. Dear devotees, later in life, some of them regret. Only if at the proper time I would have had wealth, I would not be suffering today. Dear devotees, they are using their dharma to harm their artha and kama. Some other people use artha. They are so blind in earning wealth and prosperity, they end up harming the remaining two. Which are the remaining two? Dharma and kama. They do not pay any attention to any religiosity. And they do not even sometimes satisfy their own selves properly. This is a person using artha to harm dharma and kama. And then there are some people who are kama, they are so busy in satisfying their material desires, they are not bothered about dharma or artha. Dear devotees, in this way, we should not use one of these aims to harm the other aims. All three should be properly balanced in the human form of life. Dharma, Artha and Kama. If properly balanced, then they will give us happiness in this life and happiness also in the next life. There is a very wonderful statement about not neglecting the four goals of life. This statement is spoken by Bhagavan Ram himself in the Valmiki Ramayana. Devotees, the incident in which the verse is spoken is that Sri Ram has gone to the forest. He has been exiled to the forest for 14 years. And Bharat, his brother, comes to know that Sri Ram has been exiled to the forest for 14 years. Bharat immediately rushes to bring back his brother, Sri Ram, and Bharat meets his brother in the forest. But by that time, Maharaj Dashrath has passed away. So Bharat is very dejected. And Sri Ram sees the dejection on Bharat's face and asks many questions. One of the questions that Sri Ram asks Bharat is given in the Valmiki Ramayana, and this question is as follows. Please repeat after me. Kachid arthena vadharmam artham dharmena vapuna bhava priti lobhena kamena na vibadhase kachid arthena vadharmam. Bharat, do you suppress your dharma through your artha? Or Bharat, do you suppress your artha through your dharma? Or Bharat, do you suppress both of them through your desire for kama? Bharat, why are you unhappy? You are a king in householder life. You should have equal proportions of the first three goals. What are the first three goals? Dharma, artha, kama. Bharat, did you neglect any of these goals, or did you suppress any one of these goals on the strength of the other goals? Why are you unhappy today, Bharat? This is one of the queries that Sri Ram asks Bharat when he meets Bharat in the forest. It is very important, dear devotees, that we should understand these three goals of life, and we should know what is dharma, what is artha, what is kama. Dear devotees, therefore, let us begin with the first goal of life, and the first goal of life is dharma. Let us define dharma, dear devotees. Dharma is often translated as duty, constitutional duty, one's innate position or something like that. But there is a direct definition of dharma, a very easy to understand definition of dharma given in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. This definition was originally given by Yamaraj. Devotees, how many of us would like to hear the definition by Yamaraj himself? So we don't make a mistake, dear devotees, because we will be checked against this definition. So the servants of Yamaraj, the Yamadutas, give a definition of dharma which they have heard from Yamaraj. Here is the definition of dharma. Please repeat after me. Veda pranihito dharmo yadharma stad viparyayah Veda pranihito dharmo. The Yamadutas say that which is prescribed in the Vedas is dharma. Very simple definition, dear devotees. What is dharma? That which is prescribed in the Vedas. Dear devotees, what is given in the Vedas is dharma, and the opposite of that is adharma, irreligion. Very simple. So dear devotees, if anybody asks us tomorrow what is dharma, so dharma are activities prescribed in which literature? Vedas. Why only Vedas? There are so many religious scriptures around the world. Why only Vedas, dear devotees? Well, the reason is because there are two characteristics in Vedas that are not present in other forms of religion in the world. And these two characteristics I will specify. Please please repeat after me. First, Anadi Siddha. Anadi Siddha. The Vedas are Anadi Siddha. Anadi means the Vedas have been present in the material world since beginningless time. It is not that the Vedas were produced at a certain point of time. Because if the Vedas will be produced at a certain point of time, then all human beings who appeared before that will never know what is Dharma. Therefore, it is important that a religious literature should be such that it should be present since beginningless time. That is the first characteristic of Veda which is not present in other forms of religion. Second, please repeat. Sarva Purusha Paramparasu Sarva Purusha Paramparasu. The Vedas were originally present in all human civilizations around the world. Recently, 2000 years ago or 1500 years ago, there are newer forms of religion that have come upon the planet. But if you see the pre-Christian, pre-Islamic world, most of it was filled with worship that is very similar to that given in the Vedas. Dear devotees, I will give you a few examples. For example, dear devotees, in Iran today, which is known as Iran, which was previously known as Persia, and dear devotees, the traditional religion was Zoroastrianism. And if you see Zoroastrianism, they are worshippers of Agni, and their book Zen Avesta has a language which is very similar to Sanskrit, and many of the hymns are directly taken from the Rig Veda. Dear devotees, the Zoroastrian religion was originally present in the Middle East. Similarly, if you come to America and South America, dear devotees, they were worshipping Surya, sun god, dear devotees. If you go to Japan, traditionally they were worshipping the sun god. So worshippers of various natural deities, originally worship of many deities is present in one literature. Which literature is that, dear devotees? Vedas. So originally all of us are followers of the Vedas. We have to understand. Originally all of us belong to a family which is followers of the Vedas. Because Vedas are Anadi Siddha. They are beginningless. Sarva Purusha Parampara. So they are present in all human societies since the beginning of time. Sometimes newer religions come up. They may cover certain portions of the Vedas. But after some times, the Vedas again become manifest and spread their influence. I hope you are able to understand. So this is the characteristics of Vedas. And whatever is given in the Vedas is known as what, dear devotees? Dharma. And opposite of that is known as adharma, irreligion. And Vedas do not distinguish between somebody who believes in them or doesn't believe in them. Vedas say everyone is equal for us. Even if you don't believe in the Vedas, still you should carry out Dharma. I hope you are able to understand. Even if you don't believe in the Vedas, do activities which will lead to happiness in the next life. And you will be judged accordingly. You will be judged according to the central principle of karma. Dear devotees, the principle of karma, is it a biased principle or an unbiased principle? Please tell me. Unbiased. It is equal for everybody. Unbiased principle of karma working for everyone. That is what you call Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan is eternal religiosity based on the Vedas. But dear devotees, if you look deeper into Vedic religion, you will find something about Vedic religion. Dear devotees, the Vedas are focused on one thing, and that one thing, dear devotees, please repeat after me. Yagya. What is the meaning of Yagya, dear devotees? Sacrifice. Fire sacrifice. Most of the Vedas, maximum Vedas are focused on Yagya, fire sacrifice. And this fire sacrifice is for attaining one planetary system which is called as Swarga. What is Swarga, dear devotees? Heaven. Heavenly planets. Therefore the Vedas say, please repeat after me. Swarga kamo yajeta. Swarga kamo yajeta. Swarga kamo yajeta. A person who wants to attain Swarga should perform Yagya, fire sacrifice. Now dear devotees, what is fire sacrifice? Please hear carefully, dear devotees. It's a very important thing to understand what is a Yagya. Dear devotees, a fire sacrifice is the medium by which human beings offer something to the devatas, to the deities in the heaven. And how do they offer, dear devotees? From the human side, there is one Purohit. What is the meaning of Purohit? Anybody knows? Priest. So a priest sits. The meaning of Purohit is Purohita. Pura means he sits ahead of you, and Hita, he benefits you. So somebody who sits ahead of you and does your benefit is called Purohita. He sits on your behalf and he offers offerings unto the Agni, fire, and he utters the mantra that this is for this Devata, this is for that deity, this is for Varuna, this is for Indra, this is for Agni. And from the Devata side, from the God side also somebody is sitting as Purohit. So the Vedas say, the first hymn of the Rig Veda, first hymn, Agni Mire Purohitam. Agni is the Purohit. Agni is the individual standing on behalf of the Devatas. You are offering something, Agni receives. Agni converts it into a form that the Devatas can relish. So the Devatas receive it and they are happy. Oh, wonderful. You offered something to us. In return, we will elevate you to heavenly planets. Welcome, welcome. Come, dear devotees. Swarga kamo yajeta. A person who desires heavenly planet should perform Yagya. And dear devotees, this entire Yagya is purely transactional. Purely transactional. And this is specified by Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 3rd chapter, 11th verse. Please sing after me. Devan bhavayatanena. Devan bhavayatanena. De deva bhavayantu bha. De deva bhavayantu bha. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Shreyah paramavapsyatha. Shreyah paramavapsyatha. Kindly read the translation.
Translation. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all.
Devan bhavayata anena. You perform yagya and satisfy somebody. Whom should you satisfy? Demigods, devatas. Te deva, in return, those demigods will satisfy you, and you will have happiness and prosperity, artha. And you will have proper weather, 6 seasons in order. Dear devotees, traditionally when yagyas are performed nicely, you will get 6 seasons in proper order. And what are the 6 seasons, dear devotees? Because here you have 4 seasons, the concept of 4 seasons. But traditionally there are 6 seasons that should come in order. And I will give the names, please repeat after me. Alright? Spring, spring. Summer, summer. Rain, rain. Autumn, autumn. Pre-winter, pre-winter. Winter, winter. Right? These are 6 seasons that should come in order if you are properly executing yagya. And they will come in the proper order. And they will also bring along with them proper fruits and flowers pertaining to them. Otherwise, you will have to eat fruits stored in cold storage 1 year ago. Devan bhavayata anena. Satisfy the devatas. Te deva bhavayantu bha. In return, they will satisfy you. Parasparam bhavayanta. In this way, mutually satisfying each other. Shreyah param avapsyatha. All of you will have prosperity. Dear devotees, please tell me, does this sound like transactional or non-transactional? Fully transactional, dear devotees. So dharma in this world is fully transactional. You don't get anything for free. Nothing you will get for free, dear devotees. So our hopes were that, dear devotees, what do we want? Do we want somebody to deal in transactions with us, or do we want untransactional, unconditional benefit? What do we want, dear devotees? Untransactional, unconditional benefit. That is what we want. All of us want somebody should benefit us without expecting anything in return. Tell me, dear devotees, is Vedic Dharma of that nature? No. Because the devatas will not please you, will not give you happiness if you don't give them anything. Now, dear devotees, even in this part of the world, there are many people who engage in charity. There are many people who feed the poor. There are many people who unknowingly engage in acts of dharma. To the degree that people are dharmic, to that degree there will be prosperity. And to the degree that people become adharmic, then there is chaos. And gradually the society gets ruined. Dear devotees, therefore Dharma is of great essence here. Now, dear devotees, our hopes were that Dharma will be non-transactional, but Dharma turned out as what? Transactional. Let's go to the second one. What comes after Dharma, dear devotees? Artha. Artha is the very currency of transaction. Can Artha be non-transactional? No. Dear devotees, Artha is the very currency of transaction. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very wonderful verse by Shukracharya, the guru of Maharaj Bali. Because Maharaj Bali is about to give away all his artha, all his prosperity to one personality. Which personality, dear devotees? Vaman Dev. Shukracharya says Vishnu. Shukracharya doesn't say Vaman Dev, he says Vishnu. You are about to give away everything to Vishnu. But Bali Maharaj, please hear something. You should use your artha properly. Transact properly with your artha. Don't give it away like this. And this is the verse of Shukracharya. Please repeat after me. Dharmaya yashasirthaya Kamaya svajanaya cha Panchatha vibhajan vetam Iha mutra cha modate. It's a very wonderful fact in the Bhagavad Gita, dear devotees. In Gita, Shri Krishna says, Kavi Nam Ushana Kavi. Amongst learned sages, I am Shukracharya. So Shukracharya is basically a vibhuti, is having the potency of Shri Krishna. So the person who is stopping Bali Maharaj is also having a part of Shri Krishna. And the person who is asking from Bali Maharaj is directly Shri Krishna, dear devotees. But the person stopping Bali Maharaj is Shukracharya. Shukracharya says, wait, don't give 100% of your wealth to this Vishnu. Panchadha vibhajan, divide your wealth in how many parts? 5. Here the 5 parts in which you should divide your wealth, use them for transactions. First, dharmaya, 1/5 you can give for dharma. So I will allow you to give 1/5 to this Vishnu. You give 1/5, don't give the entire wealth. 1/5 for dharma, I will agree. Yasha say, another 1/5 you can give for yasha. What is yasha? Popularity and prestige. Do something so that tomorrow people will be able to remember that there was somebody named Bali Maharaj. Otherwise your name will be quickly forgotten from society. Do something for ensuring that your name lasts in the world. The third 1/5, arthaya, invest so that you can get more money. Investment. And another 1/5, the fourth 1/5 should be given for kamaya, for your own satisfaction. And the final 1/5 should be svajanaya, for your relatives. Panchadha vibhajan. In this way you divide your wealth into how many parts? 5. 1 for dharma, 1 for your own prestige, 1 for investment to increase money, 1 for satisfying yourself, and 1 for satisfying your relatives. In this way divide your wealth into how many parts? 5. Panchadha vibhajan vittam, by dividing your wealth in 5 parts. Iha amutra cha modate. Iha, in this life you will be happy. Amutra, in the next life you will be happy. But if you give 100% to this Vishnu, certainly you become a beggar in this life. Will you be happy in this life or unhappy? Unhappy. And who knows about next life, Bali Maharaj? He's trying to say like that. Dear devotees, here is the translation. Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
Therefore, one who is in full knowledge should divide his accumulated wealth in 5 parts. For religion, for reputation, for opulence, for sense gratification, and for the maintenance of his family members. Such a person is happy in this world and in the next.
Dear devotees, looking at this verse, please tell me, is artha transactional or non-transactional? Fully transactional, dear devotees. Artha is fully transactional. But dear devotees, what type of happiness does the living entity want? Transactional or non-transactional? Non-transactional. Oh wow. So dear devotees, what are we doing in the material world? Surrounded by dharma, artha and kama. Acha, then comes kama. Dear devotees, kama refers to fulfillment of material desires, but karma also turns out to be transactional. Dear devotees, when we have karma, when we have attachment towards other person, we think that we love them. Dear devotees, please raise your hands. How many of you, those who are householders, only householders, alright? How many of you love your spouses? Please raise your hands. Wonderful. Those who did not raise their hands, we have a photograph on the right. Those who did not raise their hands. Their names will be published separately. Alright. Karma, attachment to our spouse, our near and dear ones. Alright. Dear devotees, many of us claim we love our spouses, we love our children, but the reality is something else, dear devotees. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a discussion between the sage Yagya and his wife Maitreyi. And Yagya and Maitreyi start discussing, and Yagya says something to Maitreyi. Please repeat after me. Navare Patyuh Kamaya Pati Priyo Bhavati Atmanastu Kamaya Pati Priyo Bhavati Yagya says, Are, oh Maitreyi, Nava Patyuh Kamaya Pati Priyo Bhavati. Why do you think the wife loves the husband? Why do you think the wife loves the husband? The wife doesn't love the husband because she loves the husband. Atmanastu Kamaya. The wife loves the husband because she loves herself. Oh my goodness. Prabhu, please read the translation.
Maitreyi, it is not for the sake of the husband's pleasure that he is loved, but it is for the pleasure of the self that he is loved by the wife.
Oh my goodness. The statement sounds biased against ladies, isn't it? Huh? But dear devotees, immediately Yagya speaks from the other side of husbands. Navare Jayaye Kamaya Jaya Priya Bhavati Atmanastu Kamaya Jaya Priya Bhavati.
It is not for the sake of the wife's pleasure that she is loved, but it is for the pleasure of the self that she is loved by the husband.
So why does the husband love the wife? You know, now the other side. Does the husband love the wife because he loves the wife, or does the husband love the wife because he loves himself?
Loves himself.
See, all the answer came spontaneously. This time everybody is Dear devotees, the wife knows that if the husband is unhappy, then she also will be affected by it and she will also become unhappy. And ultimately the wife doesn't want herself to become unhappy. So to keep herself happy, she keeps her husband happy. I hope you're able to understand. And the husbands, they definitely know very well, dear devotees, that if the wife is unhappy, then they too will be unhappy. And the husband doesn't want to become unhappy. Therefore, the husband ensures that the wife is happy. Dear devotees, are they really loving each other or are they loving themselves?
It's a vicious cycle.
That can't be the only reason.
Yeah, well, we'll go ahead and see what happens next.
Sun's not out.
Navare Sarvasya Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. What to speak of living entities? Dear devotees, everything is loved not for the sake of everything. A person loves everything because a person ultimately loves himself or herself. Dear devotees, a person goes to a showroom and buys the brand new Tesla car which has that Garuda-like wings. Alright, so and he brings it home, dear devotees. After bringing it home, every second day he's wiping it, he's applying wax on it, alright, he's taking care of it. Somebody should tell them, Arey bhai, Tesla is not a living entity. And he's taking so much care of it, dear devotees. One fine day, accidentally he rams the Tesla into a tree. Alright? His entire day, his months are spoiled. And then someone, Arey, why are you unhappy? It was anyways a non-living car. No, dear devotees. A person loves his Tesla because ultimately he loves himself. And he knows that if anything wrong happens with the Tesla, who will be unhappy? He will be unhappy. And he doesn't want to see himself unhappy. So to keep himself happy, he loves a non-living entity like Tesla. This is the translation, Prabhu, please read.
It is not for the sake of everything that everything is loved, but it is for the pleasure of the self that everything is loved by an individual.
Dear devotees, this is what Yagya says to Maitreyi. This is perfectly applicable here in the material world. This is what you call karma. Please tell me, dear devotees, is it non-transactional or transactional? Transactional. It is purely transactional in nature, dear devotees. So, Dharma, Artha and Kama turned out to be fully transactional in nature. You give something, you receive something. That is how the world works. The sooner you realize it, the better it is for you. Because there are some fools in the world looking for unconditional love. Dear devotees, time is a very good teacher, isn't it? One time I was myself a student in college, and there was another friend of mine. He went running to the teacher and said, the teacher asked him, what is the best thing you find about this college? He was so bold enough, he told the teacher, there are many beautiful girls in my class. So my teacher replied, one of them is going to break your heart. Select anyone. That's what he said. Because, dear devotees, there is unconditional love doesn't exist in the world. A living entity loves others because they love themselves. This is karma. Finally, we are done with dharma, artha and kama. And we want something completely non-transactional in the world. Something that will give us unconditional benefit, dear devotees. Only the fourth goal of life remains for us now. What is that, dear devotees? Moksha. Finally, we will get rid of these transactions. And finally, moksha will benefit us unconditionally. Or maybe not. Moksha, unfortunately, turns out to be transactional in nature. How many of you wish to go back home, back to Godhead? Please raise your hands. Oh, wow. Dear devotees, please hear what Krishna has to say. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Kindly read.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Oh, first you abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. Then I will give you moksha. Moksha ishyami. And if I don't abandon all varieties of dharma, if I don't do my part, then I don't get moksha. Bhagavan. I was thinking that there should be something in the world, some goal of human life that will benefit me unconditionally. Even for moksha, you are putting a condition. And Bhagavan, dear devotees, please tell me, how does this sound? Transactional or non-transactional? Fully transactional, dear devotees. Therefore, it is very difficult for us to find any non-transactional benefit in this world. Neither dharma, nor artha, nor kama, and certainly not moksha. Alright, dear devotees, that was the lecture. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No? That's it. There are only four goals of life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. They all turned out transactional. That's it. We are done, dear devotees. Alright, now you can go home and engage in transactions with Bhagavan. Alright, Bhagavan, I will give you something, you give me moksha. Dear devotees, therefore, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas specifically say something. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur composes a wonderful verse to describe the situation. Please repeat after me. Prithivite yar kichu dharma name chale Bhagavat kahe taha paripurna chale prithivite yar kichu dharma naam chale. Whatever goes on in the world in the name of religiosity, Bhagavat kahe, the Srimad Bhagavatam declares it to be paripurna chale, outright cheating, dear devotees. Outright cheating. And you may say, I don't want Vedic religion then. I will go to other forms of religion in the world. And you will find all forms of religiosity are transactional. Go to any other religion, and most of the religions you will find that ours is the only correct path. If you don't follow our path, then you cannot attain any auspiciousness. And only if you follow our exact precise path, then you will be able to reclaim yourself. Please tell me, dear devotees, is this transactional or non-transactional? Transactional. Fully transactional. Dear devotees, there is nothing on the planet which will give you non-transactional, unconditional benefit. No form of religiosity present on this planet, dear devotees. Therefore, when Sri Vyasadeva wrote the Bhagavad Gita, he compiled the Bhagavad Gita inside the Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita is inside which literature? Mahabharata. Sri Vyasadeva compiled the Gita inside the Mahabharata. The Gita was the most fundamental instruction of the Mahabharata. There was nothing more higher than the Gita in the Mahabharata. And the final instruction of the Gita was centered around moksha. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shusha. And Sri Vyasadeva saw that this instruction is transactional in nature. After compiling the entire Mahabharata, after compiling so many Puranas, Sri Vyasadeva became unhappy at heart. It is described in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Was Sri Vyasadeva happy after compiling the Mahabharata or unhappy at heart? Unhappy. And then came his guru, Sri Narad Muni, and asked him a rhetorical question in a joking manner. Vyasadeva, are you happy? Are you happy? So then Vyasadeva knew that my guru is asking me a rhetorical question. Well, my dear master, I am very unhappy. I compiled all these literatures for the benefit of humanity. But after compiling all of them, I feel as if I am totally unhappy. I feel undone in life. Please tell me, what did I miss out? And then Sri Narad Muni said, you did not write something which will give unconditional, non-transactional benefit to the living entity. Now, write a literature which will give unconditional, non-transactional benefit to the living entity, which will finally satisfy you and satisfy all the living entities. Dear devotees, imagine Sri Vyasadeva, the compiler, is not happy, what will happen to the readers? It's, you can compare it to the person who wrote a book, How to Earn $1 Million, but the person couldn't earn $1 million himself. I hope, similar situation. Sri Vyasadeva wrote all these literature so that humanity will be happy, but Sri Vyasadeva himself is unhappy. What will happen to the readers? You can't imagine. Then, dear devotees, finally Sri Vyasadeva compiled that literature which gave unconditional benefit. And that literature was Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the very beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Vyasadeva wrote something. Please repeat after me. Dharma projita kaitavotra parama. In this literature, he said, I will give dharma. Dharma means religiosity. But dharma is already transactional. No. Paramaha dharma. The highest religion. The highest form of religiosity, which is projita kaitavo. From which pra-ujjita, nicely, everything, all cheating has been removed nicely from it. No cheating tendency, no transaction. Dear devotees. Here is the translation. Prabhu, kindly read.
The highest Dharma, devoid of any cheating propensity, is presented here in the Bhagavatam.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam, I will now not present any cheating tendencies, any transactional dharma. Dear devotees, what are the transactional dharmas we saw? What was the first one? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Oh my goodness. Dear devotees, which means the final instruction of the Gita, which was centered around which one of these? Moksha. Also has to be removed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Commenting upon this verse, the original Sanskrit commentator Srila Sridhar Swami says, please repeat after me. Prashabdena moksha abhisandhir abhinirasta. Prashabdena. Can you see in the original verse projita?
Yeah.
Projita has the prefix pra. Pra, nicely ujjita, removed. I have nicely removed all cheating tendency. Pra means nicely. Srila Sridhar Swami says by the prefix pra in projita, the desire for moksha is also rejected. Dear devotees, the Srimad Bhagavatam begins after rejecting the final proposition of Bhagavad Gita. I hope you are able to understand. The final proposition of Bhagavad Gita is moksha. But is moksha transactional or non-transactional? And Sri Vyasadeva knew this cannot give happiness to the living entity. Therefore, Sri Vyasadeva begins by rejecting all transactional religions, forms of dharma, including what dear devotees? Moksha. Moksha is rejected in the prefix pra. Pra-ujjita, nicely rejected. Nicely means even dharma, artha, kama, and especially moksha is also rejected. Dear devotees, this is the mood with which the Srimad Bhagavatam is presented. Now, dear devotees, let's dive inside the mood of the Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of us want unconditional benefit in life without transactions? Please raise your hands. Alright? Those who are not raising their hands, they want transactions in all their lives. Think again, dear devotees. So, dear devotees, most of you raised your hands. In order to have non-transactional benefit from Krishna, first and foremost, we should drop all transactions from our side. Are you willing to drop all transactions from your side? It's so difficult, isn't it? Alright. At least let us theoretically understand how it works. I will speak something, please repeat after me. Alright, this is a prayer we can say to Krishna. Please repeat after me. Dear Krishna, I do not want dharma, artha, kama, and moksha in exchange of my devotional service. I do not want to go back home, back to Godhead. Oh Krishna. All of you are dejected, huh? Oh Krishna. All I want is your prema. Your love. Because your prema is for your benefit. Not mine. Oh dear devotees, that is very difficult. It is very difficult. What is prema, dear devotees? What is love? What is love? Love is, I will define what is love, dear devotees. The ability to sacrifice one's own happiness for the happiness of the beloved. That is love. Everything else is a transaction. Isn't it? The ability to sacrifice one's own happiness for the happiness of the beloved. That is actually love. And everything else is more or less transaction. And somebody who truly loves us is willing to sacrifice their happiness for us. And in return, we should also be willing to sacrifice our happiness for their happiness. How many of us would like to be in a relationship where the other person is willing to sacrifice their happiness for our happiness? Please raise your hands. Be honest. Yes, wonderful. And so we should also be prepared. Dear devotees. No terms and conditions. No contracts. Because many of us think we have a contract with Krishna. 16 plus 4. You know what is 16 plus 4?
16 rounds and 4 regular.
16 rounds. 4 regular. 16 plus 4 multiplied by 30 years is my ticket back home, back to Godhead. Isn't it really? And Krishna has to please me ever after. Once I go back to Godhead, Krishna has to do whatever I want ever after. My eternal pass to Disneyland, 16 plus 4. Even in going back to Godhead, we are having transactional dharma. The Srimad Bhagavatam begins by rejecting moksha. And that moksha includes all forms of liberation, personal as well as impersonal liberation. All forms of liberation are rejected in the second verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Dear devotees. Therefore, it is very important for us to understand that non-transactional benefit begins only when we give up on the first 4 goals of life and accept the 5th and the most important goal taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please repeat, Prema. Prema is the goal of life which is completely non-transactional in nature. It does not expect anything from Bhagavan, and Bhagavan doesn't expect anything from you. And that is how the relationship continues eternally. And that is the best sort of a relationship to have with Bhagavan, the devotees. Otherwise, we go to Bhagavan, we approach Bhagavan for 2 reasons, dear devotees. Please repeat after me, what are the 2 reasons why we approach Bhagavan if we don't have prema? Please repeat, first is bhukti. Bhukti. And second is mukti. Bhukti and mukti, alright? So bhukti means some people approach Bhagavan because they want material enjoyment. Some people approach Bhagavan because they want liberation. Sri Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, both these are very troublesome for the living entity. Devotee Sri Rupa Goswami compares even the desire for liberation to a witch. Please repeat after me. Bhukti mukti sprihayava. Bhukti mukti sprihayava. Pishachi hridi vartate. Pishachi hridi vartate. Tavat bhakti sukhasyatra. Tavat bhakti sukhasyatra. Katham abhyudayo bhave. Katham abhyudayo bhave. Bhukti mukti sprihayavat pishachi. Pishachi refers to a ghost. Have you ever seen a person haunted by a ghost, dear devotees? If you have not seen, at least you might have seen sometimes, you might have heard somebody describing such a person. A person haunted by a ghost, can they remain happy?
No.
All their happiness is taken away by the ghost. So there are two ghosts, Sri Rupa Goswami says, which take over your heart. Please repeat after me. Bhukti Spriha. Bhukti Spriha is the desire for material enjoyment. I cannot become happy in bhakti unless I get this material enjoyment. I cannot become happy in bhakti unless I get this wonderful car. I can't become happy in bhakti unless I get married. I can't become happy in bhakti unless I have this. This is called Bhukti Spriha. Bhukti Spriha is one which takes over your heart. And your devotee second which is, please repeat, Mukti Spriha. I can't become happy unless and until I go back home, back to Godhead. Dear devotees. This is called as which Spriha? Mukti. And then every morning 4:30, every morning 4 o'clock they are waking up. Why? Because if I don't wake up at 4 o'clock, I will not be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Then they come and chant 16 rounds. Because if I don't chant 16 rounds, I will not be able to go back home, back to Godhead. And then I follow 4 regulative principles. Because if I don't follow them, I will not be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Dear devotees, this is another witch sitting on the heart, giving us trouble. Let's remove this witch. Tomorrow, dear devotees, when we go and chant our rounds, we should have one desire in the heart. That is, Bhagavan, this is only for your pleasure and no nothing else, Bhagavan. This is what is the removal of the desire for mukti. Here is the translation, Prabhu, kindly read.
As long as the witch-like desires for bhukti, material pleasures, and mukti, liberation from matter, have their grips over the heart of a sadhaka, how can the true happiness of bhakti ever make an appearance there?
So a person consumed by a ghost, dear devotees, looks like this. Do they look happy or unhappy? Yeah, and you may see them in the material world, they are very happy, they are smiling, but deep down in their hearts, they are consumed by hundreds of anxieties. Look in their hearts, see how miserable they are, because they are yet to attain happiness. Yet to attain happiness in their lives. Bhukti Spriha, the desire for material enjoyment is consuming them from within. Like termite, it is eating their hearts from within, the devotees. They are consumed by the witch for bhukti, material enjoyment. And some are consumed by the witch of mukti, liberation. The devotees, both these desires don't allow you to experience transaction-free dharma. And transaction-free dharma is only one, dear devotees. What is the name of that one dharma? Prema. You cannot have it anyhow else. And if you try for anything else, try your best, dear devotees, to become happy by transactional religion. My best wishes to those who will try. Try your best. Try your best. Time is a good teacher, very good teacher. Try your best in trying to become happy by transactional dharma. Time is a very good teacher. Vyasadeva could not become happy, and you want to try. My best wishes. My best wishes. All I can say is my best wishes. The only way to become happy is to live for the happiness of Bhagavan. That is the only way to become happy. There is no other way to become truly happy, dear devotees. And finally, it is not also about one's personal happiness. One's personal happiness is simply a byproduct of giving happiness to Bhagavan. Dear devotees, therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami says, you can accept moksha. It doesn't mean that you fully reject liberation. You can accept liberation provided it doesn't interfere with your ultimate goal of life. And what is your ultimate goal of life, dear devotees? Krishna Prema. Sri Rupa Goswami specifies when moksha can be accepted. Please repeat after me. Atra tyajya tayayivokta mukti pancha vidhapiche salokyadis tathapyatra bhakyanati viruddhyate atra tyajya tayayivokta. Sri Rupa Goswami says, I have told that everybody should reject even mukti. You can see in the second line. Even the desire for mukti, panchavida. How many types of mukti? 5. 5 types of mukti. First, to go to the planet of Bhagwan, Salokya. Second, to not only go to the planet of Bhagwan but also attain similar opulences, Sarshti. Third, to not only go to the planet of Bhagwan but also attain a similar form, Sarupya. Fourth, to not only go to the planet of Bhagwan but also attain proximity, Samipya. Fifth, to merge into Bhagwan, Sayujya. Out of these, Sayujya will never be accepted. Merging in Bhagwan will never be accepted by the devotees. But the remaining four, Salokyadis, Bhaktya na ati virudhyate. Sri Rupa Goswami's attitude is they are not very unfavorable to bhakti. If they help your prema, you can optionally consider them. I hope you are able to understand. If they are favorable to your prema, you can optionally consider them. There are many devotees who have not yet accepted mukti. Example, Sri Hanuman. He is still in this world, dear devotees. Has he accepted mukti till now? No. He is still in this world, Sri Hanuman. But Sri Hanuman has something much greater than mukti. What does he have, dear devotees? Prema. He has prema for Bhagwan in his heart. This is the attitude. Prabhu, kindly read the translation that Sri Rupa Goswami is saying.
Although all 5 types of liberation are spoken as being worthy of rejection in this text, still the 4 types of liberation, is Salokya, etc., are not very unfavorable towards bhakti.
Alright. Dear devotees, if tomorrow Bhagwan comes and says, Prabhu, your good name?
My name is Vishal.
Vishal Prabhu. Tomorrow Bhagwan comes and says, Vishal Prabhu, I am happy with you. What do you want? बोलो.
मुझे तो प्रेमा भक्ति चाहिए उनकी. मुझे कि मतलब उनके चरणों में स्थान रहे हमेशा और हमेशा मतलब उन्हीं.
In English, so that devotees can understand.
Okay. So I would like to have prema bhakti.
That's because you heard the lecture, isn't it?
Yeah, that is yes. I got inspired by all your lectures.
Vishal Prabhu, I am asking you one last time. What do you want?
I want bhakti and would always be thinking about how I can serve you better.
Vishal Prabhu, I am running out of patience. I am here to give you something.
My answer will not change, Prabhu.
Hare Vishal Prabhu, I am ready to give you moksha. Vaikuntha.
My answer will not change.
Dear devotees, Vishal Prabhu is determined. He is not going to give up his desire for prema. At this point of time, Bhagwan's ego is defeated. Bhagwan has some ego in the Gita. Ye yathama prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. As you render service to me, I will also render service to you. So Vishal Prabhu rendered service. In return, Bhagwan also wanted to give some benefit. But when Bhagwan tried to give some benefit, Vishal Prabhu said, no. Bhagwan is thus defeated by bhakti, dear devotees. Only bhakti defeats Bhagwan. And then I have, as Bhagwan has no other choice but to give Vishal Prabhu something which he does not like to give very easily. Prema. Because once he gives prema, he knows he can never take it away from his heart ever again at any point of time. Vishal Prabhu, you are very stubborn, isn't it? You did not ask anything for yourself. Alright. Prema is given unto you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, this was just a dramatic scene. Alright, it should happen in real life, okay?
But I will take it.
Somehow is better than nothing.
So, one day should come, Bhagavan will At that time, Bhagwan, anything, Vaikuntha will also go. I just want to escape this miserable life I have, Bhagwan. So no, that should not be our condition on that day. Devotees, please remember what Vishal Prabhu said. The perfect attitude, if Bhagwan comes to us and says, what do you want? Our answer should be, nothing Bhagwan, only your Prema. Nothing, only your Prema Bhagwan, only your benefit. Alright, but we are here to speak about your benefit. No Bhagwan, I will not speak about my benefit, I will only speak about your benefit. I deal only in one currency, your benefit. I hope you are able to understand. That is the language that we are supposed to speak with Bhagwan. If we want to have non-transactional benefit, we should also become completely non-transactional. Devotees, when Shri Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita 5000 years ago, can you tell me the names of individuals who became devotees after hearing the Gita in Dwapar Yuga? In Dwapar Yuga, who all became a devotee after hearing Bhagavad Gita? Arjun was already a devotee. Bhaktosi mein sakha cheti. Arjun, you are already my devotee. There is no track record like this. The devotees, see how difficult it is to find even a single example of somebody becoming a devotee in Dwapar Yuga. See? Why? Because Bhagavan placed so many conditions, terms and conditions. Dear devotees, Bhagavan in the 12th chapter, one who is neither happy nor sad nor too excited in success nor too disappointed in failure, in heat and cold, who remains the same, and that devotee, that is a devotee, is very dear to me. Nobody even applied for the position, dear devotees. In Dwapar Yuga, nobody applied for that position. Because you have to fulfill so many conditions, and when there is condition, is it transactional or non-transactional? Transactional. Dear devotees, in Kali Yuga, Bhagwan came again. This time not with his own mood, with the mood of Srimati Radharani. Dear devotees, and in the mood of Sri Radha, he came as whom, dear devotees? Mahaprabhu. He dropped all the conditions. All the conditions were dropped in Kali Yuga, dear devotees, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking for one simple thing, dear devotees. One simple thing. Please answer in yes or no.
Yes.
First question. There is only one simple thing that you need to do, dear devotees. Can you chant Krishna's names?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Now all of you are devotees. Those remaining conditions are not there. Heat and cold, all those conditions are not expected in the beginning. Can you chant Hare Krishna? So let's chant one time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please tell me, how many became followers of the Bhagavad Gita in Kali Yuga? How many devotees in Kali Yuga? Please tell me. Millions of people became devotees in Kali Yuga. Dear devotees, we became devotees only because Bhagavan decided to drop transactions from his side. And if Bhagavan dropped transactions from his side, our duty is to drop transactions from our side. Only that relationship will work, and that relationship has a future. Otherwise, all other relationships are give and take. Bhagavan, you scratch my back, I will scratch. That sort of a relationship will give only dissatisfaction and never permanent satisfaction to Bhagavan and the living entity. Dear devotees, I will end with a quote by Srila Prabhupada. Because many times Prabhupada said you should go back home, back to Godhead. So why did Srila Prabhupada say so many times that you should go back to Godhead, if finally our aim is not to go back to Godhead, but our aim is to attain Prema? So this final quote, Mataji, you also have a loud enough voice. Mataji, you please read what Srila Prabhupada says in the top of Chaitanya Charitamrita, 13 March 1974.
A devotee doesn't desire liberation. A devotee, he does not aspire after going back to home, back to Godhead. No, any place, it doesn't matter. He wants to simply glorify the Supreme Lord. That is his business. It is not the business of the bhakta that he is chanting and dancing and executing devotional service for going to Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. That is Krishna's desire. If he likes, he will take me. Talk on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 13th March 1974.
So dear devotees, Srila Prabhupada also knows that there is something higher than moksha, and that is Prema, dear devotees. Often Srila Prabhupada to new devotees, he would say you should aim to go back home, back to Godhead. But then ultimately all of us should also know that going back to Godhead, performing bhakti with that thought in mind is also transactional. Ultimately, bhakti should be performed in a non-transactional manner to give happiness to Bhagavan, and ultimately as a side effect, even though we don't expect it, happiness comes to us. Dear devotees, I will end with a verse from the Padyavali by Sri Ishwar Puri, the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A wonderful verse by Sri Ishwar Puri. This is the final verse for today. This verse, dear devotees, is in the meter Shardula Vitriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. I'll try to sing it. Please repeat after me. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjana Vana Dhyanadva Sambhavita. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjana Vana Dhyanadva Sambhavita. Swarajyam Pradipadya Nirbhayamami Bhavantu Dvija. Swarajyam Pratipadya Nirbhayamami Mukta Bhavantu Dvija. Asmakam Dukadamba Kunja Kuhara Promila Dindivara. Asmakam Dukadamba Kunja Kuhara Jushtam Janmastu Lakshavadhe. Shri Shamaladhama Nama Jushatam Janmastu Lakshavadhe. Shri Ishwar Puri is the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is more and more absorbed in Sri Krishna Prema. One fine day, another sannyasi comes to him and says, "Don't you want moksha?" Ishwar Puri, think properly about it. You are sentimentally chanting and dancing around Krishna's names. You should think seriously about getting liberated. What will happen if you return again to this material world? So meditate on Vedanta, or follow some Ashtanga Yoga, or do something, go to the forest and do something so that you will attain liberation. Sri Ishwar Puri didn't say anything to him on the first day. On the second day, this same sannyasi came and again spoke to Ishwar Puri. I am very concerned about you. You are just an emotional devotee. You are not at all worried about your moksha. Take your moksha seriously, Sri Ishwar Puri. Sri Ishwar Puri did not say anything. On the third day, when he came and repeated the same message, Sri Ishwar Puri replied, Yoga, let some people follow Ashtanga Yoga. Shruti Upapatti, let some people study the Shrutis, the Vedas, Vedanta. Nirjana Vana, let some people go to the solitary forest. Dhyanadva, let some people meditate or go to places of pilgrimage. Let all of them do all these practices sambhavita. It is possible that by following these practices, definitely it is possible. Swarajyam Pratipadya Nirbhayamami, they may become fearless and mukta bhavantu, they will become liberated. My best wishes to all of them. Somebody will get liberated through Ashtanga Yoga, somebody through Vedas, somebody through solitary meditation in the forest, somebody through pilgrimage. Let all of them get liberated. I don't care. Then what do you want? Asmakam tu, for myself, however, I want something. Kadamba Kunja Kuhara. In Vrindavan, there is a thick forest of Kadamba trees. And there, just like a blooming, shining blue lotus, there is one personality in that Kadamba forest. Who is that personality, devotees?
Krishna.
He will not speak his name. Because you should not give Krishna's name to a faithless person. It is one of the 10 offenses, isn't it? So he is not speaking that name in front of that impersonalist sannyasi. So like that blue lotus, there is one person who is glowing there under the Kadamba trees in the full moon night besides the Yamuna. Shreni Shyamala Dhama. He is an abode of dark beauty, bluish beauty. Nama, and he has a name. Jushatam, while relishing that name, Janma Astu Lakshavadi, let me have millions of lives, relishing his name. I don't want anything else. I don't want anything else for myself. Let me relish his name for millions of lives with Prema. That is all I want for myself. This is the desire of the devotee. And for such a devotee, liberation comes with folded hands. It is not that they will stay in the material world forever, but liberation, they will not beg for liberation. Oh Mukti, please come to me. Instead, they will make Mukti wait. Wait. Are you favorable for my seva? Which Mukti are you? Vaikuntha Mukti or Goloka Mukti? Are you going to get me to Bhagavan Vishnu or Bhagavan Krishna? Even in the service of Bhagavan Krishna with seva, are you going to bring to me? Only if you fulfill my criteria will I accept you. That is the attitude of Sri Ishwar Guru. This is the translation, Prabhu. Kindly read.
Let the twice born become liberated through Ashtanga Yoga, study of the Vedas, solitary meditations in the forest, or arduous pilgrimages. Let them realize their fearless, liberated nature in this way. As for us, all we seek is to savor over millions of lives the name of that personality who embodies the dark splendor of the multitudes of blue lotuses blooming in the enclosures of thick bowers of Kadamba trees.
Dear devotees, this is the desire of the spiritual master of Bhagavan, Sri Ishwar Guru. So the only non-transactional dharma which can fully satisfy the living entity is not dharma, not artha, not kama, and certainly not moksha. It is only one, dear devotees. And what is it, dear devotees? Prema. Thank you very much, dear devotees. I'll pause my speech at this point of time. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. It is possible while speaking, I might have made a mistake. If I have made a mistake, vidvamsah, you are learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If there is anything nice in what I spoke, please remember tad guroreva. It belongs to my Gurujanas. May nahi, it doesn't belong to me. Once again, thank you very much, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. Thank you very much, Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji, for kindly opening the doors of your home and inviting all of us. My sincere thanks also to Jagdish Mahaprabhu, Prabhu Vishnu Priya Mataji for kindly organizing this trip here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We can take a few questions. If anybody wants to ask a question, then now is the time. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for this amazing class. If we have to explain what is moksha to somebody who is really not into ISKCON or Krishna consciousness, can we just say moksha means the desire to go back to Godhead? How to explain? I'm just trying to. I always have this challenge to explain what moksha is.
Alright. There is a very succinct definition of moksha given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In 2.10.6 Srimad Bhagavatam says, dear devotees, please repeat after me. Muktir hitvanyatha rupam Swarupena vyavasthitihi Mukti, liberation, is hitva anyatha rupam, to give up all other temporary forms of existence, and swarupena vyavasthiti, to be situated in your original position. So that is mukti. Mukti is to give up all other designations and to be situated in your actual position. That is mukti for the living entity. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.6. The translation is as follows. Liberation is the permanent situation of the form of the living entity after he gives up the changeable, gross and subtle material bodies. So this is a definition. In simpler words, you can say mukti is to give up all material existence and to be situated in your original constitutional position. That is what mukti is. This is according to the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.6. Shastra is the Praman. Alright? So I hope that answers your query. Yes. Anybody else? Yamataji, who had?
Quickly, I would like to admit when he was doing the role play with Vishal Prabhu, I was very worried he got it very easy.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying those different drama.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Prabhu, when you mentioned about 10 plus 4,
16.
sorry, 6, why I don't know why it was 16.
Okay, 16.
10 plus 4.
16.
Yes, sorry. Why am 16? Sorry, 16 plus 4.
Yeah.
And you said that Krishna will be very happy. And I did not get the answer if you're not doing 16 plus 4. Is Krishna going to be happy at that time or what's the situation there?
Mataji, I was saying that many people think that 16 plus 4 is a contract with Shri Krishna. And Krishna does not engage in any such contracts. You can chant 16 or you can chant more. But only when Shri Krishna is pleased, and that he is a person, he is not a machine. So you can't give a fixed formula to please Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So as a person we have to deal with him. And can we have a formula for pleasing a person, dear devotees? Similarly, there is no fixed formula for pleasing Shri Krishna. We can chant 16 rounds or we can chant any number of rounds. But unless Bhagavan is pleased with our attitude, we may not be able to get Prema. So that is what it is. We have to deal with him like a person. Often we reduce Bhagavan to a formula. You do this much and liberation is guaranteed. So Bhagavan is not a machine. Bhagavan is a person. We'll have to deal with him like a person. So therefore it is very important to understand these things. We should continue to chant 16 rounds, continue to follow the 4 regulations, but we should try to do it with as much affection as possible so that Bhagavan's attention is attracted. Without affection, it will become very difficult. So that is the answer to the query. Right? Anybody else? Yes.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for a wonderful class. Sometimes this idea of prema is a little bit abstract because our interaction with Bhagavan isn't so available. But our interaction with the devotees of Bhagavan, the spiritual master, and the book Bhagavat, person Bhagavat, should this prema, or mood of prema, how should that be exhibited as we associate? Because that is a more practical, more tangible way in which we experience the Lord's mercy.
Wonderful. So, since Bhagavan's direct association is not available to us, but the association of the Mahabhagavat is available, so how should we exhibit our prema in their association? That is the question. It is very important to understand that prema cannot be produced by our efforts. I would like to ask a few questions, dear devotees, all of you answer in yes or no. Our senses are material, yes or no?
Yes.
Our efforts are material.
Yes.
Prema is spiritual.
Yes.
A spiritual entity cannot be produced by a manipulation of the material senses.
Yes.
Can we produce prema simply by moving the material senses. Prema exists with two sources. First, with Bhagavan. Second, with the devotee who already has prema. Only from these two sources can we get prema. So only either directly from the heart of Sri Krishna or from the heart of an existing devotee do we get prema. Because if it is produced by our own effort, then prema will become a mechanical thing, and then you will need to have a formula to produce prema. And then you will be able to mass produce prema. Can prema be mass produced, dear devotees?
No.
Because it is not based on a mechanical formula, and whatever is not based on a mechanical formula cannot be mass produced. So you only have to get it from the heart of an existing devotee who has prema. And therefore, the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, please repeat after me. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula. Hai Sadhusanga. Hai Sadhusanga. Krishna Prema Janmete Ho. Krishna Prema Janmete Ho. Puna Mukhya Anga. Puna Mukhya Anga. The root cause, Srila Prabhupada says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, the root cause of devotional service or attaining that prema to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Srila Prabhupada adds advanced here, although the original only says Sadhusanga, association of devotees. But Prabhupada adds the term advanced here to emphasize that you only get prema from a devotee who already has prema. Even when one's prema awakens, still association with those devotees is most essential. Even after you attain the goal, still you should associate with such devotees. So only in association of such devotees, when we start listening to them, a certain mood takes over us. If we are having a proper attitude, then their mood will take over us gradually. And then we will be able to experience some initial experiences of prema, which Sri Rupa Goswami calls asakti. Asakti is initial attachment to Sri Krishna. And only when that asakti is properly nourished, it will go to the stage of bhava. And when it comes to the stage of bhava, it will come to the stage of prema. And I will give, because often it is very difficult to believe, but I will give you an example which will make things very easy to understand. See, I come from Mumbai. Mumbai is a place which has spoiled entire India. There is one industry in Mumbai. Which industry? Yeah, all of you are, you are knowledgeable. So Mumbai has Bollywood. Prabhu, I am giving this example so that it becomes easy to understand. Let's say there is a young boy, let's say 14 or 15 years of age. He says, I want to fall in love. But I have never experienced love before. But I have heard lots of glories of falling in love. And he wants to fall in love with a girl. Now there are two ways that he can experience love. First is that while walking on the street, suddenly he sees a girl who immediately, attracts him, and for the first time he experiences love. That is the direct way. And then there is also another way of experiencing love. He can listen to the love songs of the hopeless romantics who wrote love songs. And even without experiencing love himself in personal life, you may see such people are crying in love. There are many people who listen to love songs and they may not have any love, they may not have met a girl or a boy, but they are also crying. You say, why are you crying? You didn't even meet anybody till now. Why are you crying? Well, because that song really touches something in my heart, So, just as it works in the material world, a similar thing works also for the spiritual world. So there are two ways of getting love of Krishna. Either you see Krishna directly and fall head over heels in his prema, or you meet a hopeless romantic of Sri Krishna And once you meet such a person, then whatever mood is present in their heart can gradually rub onto your heart. And once it rubs onto your heart, there is no going back. And this is declared to be the only effective and natural method for attaining Krishna Prema. This is the only effective and natural method. Try with your own senses, try with your own effort. It is very rare because I told you Krishna himself doesn't like to give it so easily. Why does Krishna not like to give it so easily? Because Krishna knows once I give it to him, I cannot take it back at any point of time. So Krishna doesn't like to enter into a new relationship so easily. Krishna is hesitant because Krishna knows I'll have to take care of this person eternally, forever. So Krishna is a little hesitant to enter, but it is easier to get. 99.9% of the cases are of those who got it from an existing devotee. And the final result is the same, whether you get it from Krishna or whether you get it from an existing devotee. So I hope so that once the mood changes, then you will know what to do and what not to do. Once a person, before a boy falls in love, he may ask, after I fall in love, what should I say to the girl? After I fall in love, what gift should I give to the girl? But after he actually falls in love, he will not ask these questions. He knows what to do. Self-motivated. And that self-motivation is spoken by Sri Krishna. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Do you read the translation?
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding which they can come to me.
With love. Once you receive that love from the heart of a devotee, you will know, I have received. And you will know what to do next. You will know everything that is needed to progress on the path. But till that time, we are just theoretically asking, what will I do after I receive that prema? After receiving love, then we will know what to do. Just as a calf is able to locate its mother cow amongst millions of cows, similarly, a loving devotee is able to find Bhagwan amongst millions of other things in the world. That is the power of Prema. And it will take you to Bhagwan. Bhagwan will tell you how to approach him. But first we need to get that initial spark of Prema from the heart of an existing devotee. It cannot be produced by our material efforts. It has to come from the heart of a devotee. So I hope that answers your query to some degree of satisfaction.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Should we pause now? Yes. Very well. Thank you so much once again.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I was sitting upstairs watching your class